right, everybody, welcome to JCLive, your weekly source for JCL news and fun. I'm Kurt Ristroff, your host and the publications chair for the National Junior Classical League, an organization of middle and high school students in classics courses. And please welcome to the show two very special guests, the current and former presidents of Virginia JCL, Virginia being one of our largest chapters. How are y'all doing? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Terrific. Very happy to have you. Thanks so much for coming on. Very happy to see everybody in the chat. Hopefully some more people are going to be filtering in. While we wait for that, and I did make the Instagram post, so that'll be reminding people. And it looks like the chat box is working, which I just added back to the stream. How are y'all doing? How was your Monday?
I think an average Monday. I think, pretty good for a Monday, actually. I'll say that.
Our Monday was off today for my district because it's a grading day. It was the end of our quarter. And I also got a text to set up my vaccine appointment today for my first dose, which was really exciting and something I've been waiting on for a while. So I had a really great Monday.
Okay. Do you know which one you're getting?
Yeah, Pfizer. That's the only one I can get since I'm only 17.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. I got mine last week too, my first dose, so that's exciting.
Nice. What did you get?
I'm sorry? Say that again, please.
What one did you get?
Oh, I got Moderna. It's just the one that they happen to have, but
You'll take it.
I'll take it. And it's, I interned for Moderna back in 2018 before they were a household name, so I'm very happy to be repping Moderna with the spike proteins in my bloodstream now. So we should do introductions. I forgot to do introductions. Everybody knows me, but the two of you, would you mind introducing yourselves?
Actually, how about Savvy? How about you go first? Chronological order.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Hi guys, I'm Savvy. I was Virginia's president from 2019 to 2020. My term ended this November, which is when Najati took over.
Yeah, hi. I'm Najati Ansel. I'm the current VJCL president. I go to Flint Hill. I'm a junior. I guess those are some facts about me, some basics.
And you're coming back on the show. You were here when was that, November? For the
Yeah, I'm a reoccurring guest.
Yes.
But yeah, Flint Hill came on here. We had a great time. We played Scribble.io with everyone, and I think that was really fun.
That was terrific, and I'm very happy to have y'all back. Savvy had actually emailed me sometime in 2020 about wanting to come on and do Virginia stuff on this show. So actually, when she had emailed me, we were booked. We had shows booked through February or something. Yeah. And so I emailed back and said, "Oh, well, I'm sorry, we don't have any openings until after you're out of office, but you can always come back as the former president." And then Najati emailed me a couple of weeks ago and said, "Hey, let's do a current and former VJCL president show to talk about onboarding, state officer onboarding," which is kind of a specific topic because not, the vast majority of JCLers won't ever hold state office, which is, there's a place for everybody. A lot of people are going to hold local office. A lot of people are going to be terrific contributing members, whether they're officers or not. Holding office is only one of the ways that JCL can encourage and foster leadership. Certainly if you're the leader of your Kataman team, the captain of a team, if you're leading your school's dramatic interpretation performance or something like that, there are plenty of ways to be a leader in JCL, but state office in particular is one of those. So what did y'all, I think you two said just before the show that you sort of have a success story to tell. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go first or.
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about the end of the 2020 year. So obviously blindsided by COVID. I think every 2020 officer was, unless you have psychic powers. So we didn't have an in-person convention. Virginia has kind of a strange situation. We have our convention in November. And it was definitely hard. I don't think certainly none of us had transitioned to another board online, and only two of us, me and our were former officers. We had made the transition once, but again, not online, not in these circumstances. So that made for a challenge for sure. But right after state convention, Virginia has a former and new officers meeting. So we all joined that. And my board, I love them, all very passionate people. And we were all blurting out things like, oh, don't forget this, and make sure you know you can contact us at any time. We really wanted to strive to make ourselves available, especially because like not all officers have been in the past, and it can be a difficult thing to figure out office in general, but especially now makes it even harder. Yeah, I've been talking for a while, so Najati, you can take off where I left it.
Yeah, I guess I also wanted to add it was kind of a strange situation too, because I think for the first time in probably a while, there were a completely new board of officers, meaning none of us had held a previous position. So, that presents its new series of challenges. But as I say to my officers, also is kind of a good thing, in my opinion. We can be idealistic. We don't have to think about the past in some ways. So that's good too. But obviously there was a lot we didn't know. So I think having that relationship with your previous respective officer has been really important for all of my officers, I'd say, but especially for the president role, considering it has so many unwritten rules and things associated with it. So I think that talking with Savvy and maintaining that relationship throughout this whole year, especially with the unprecedented circumstances, has been key to the current board's success. So yeah.
So I think Virginia's in an interesting situation because, Savvy, you're a senior this year, right?
No, actually, I'm a junior.
You're a junior this year. Okay. I was going to say, but it's not the end of the school year once you're out of office. What I'm getting at is, in Louisiana, when we have convention in the middle of March, the outgoing president, who's usually a senior, many of the outgoing state officers are going to be seniors. They'll graduate in a month and a half.
Yeah.
And then for the remaining 10 and a half months of the new officers' terms, their predecessors are in college or doing some kind of study abroad before college or working or something like that. So they're less available, I guess, since you're still in school for the rest of the year from November through May, at least if you were a senior. That makes it a more interesting, more, I suppose, accessible, because y'all are going to be going to other state events together, things like that you might not otherwise.
I think it puts us in a really great position, actually. I'm a big advocate for the November convention for a plethora of reasons. One of my favorites is it gives us a lot of time to plan for nationals, but the other being you have a lot of time to get comfortable in your position. And I think it's really nice to be able to guide other officers while still being in school, because then, I'll be honest, the rest of my board, they're all seniors. I know many of them have senioritis right now. So I think being in school still helps. You still have to have that connection instead of you graduate in a month and you're kind of done with high school and your life in high school. And I guess I'm kind of in a different place because I'm still a junior. But that's also been really cool for Najati and I to have that relationship. We're going through the same stuff right now for college, for school, and we're both, VJCL presidents. So yeah, it's been really awesome.
That's good. That's so good to hear that y'all have that kind of working relationship. I think there are some states that have a pro-consul position where the former president stays on for another year or something like that. I guess another club that I was familiar with, not JCL, but a math club I was in high school, had a state office that was president-elect. So they were the president-elect for a year, and then they were the president for a year. So by getting elected as president-elect, they got elected to 2 years of state office.
That's so interesting.
It was an interesting model.
Role?
Do what?
Did they have a specific role? Did they do anything as president-elect, or were they just kind of learning the ropes?
I don't remember. I was never on any of those boards, but I think they were effectively the vice president for a year and then became the president. So I think president-elect was effectively president, but there was also a vice president position, so I don't know what they did. Maybe it was like JCL where they had 2 vice presidents in effect. Najati, were you going to say something? You unmuted yourself a second ago.
No, I guess what I would say is like having that kind of grace period within the year is also helpful for any different circumstances too, because I know having talked with a lot of new presidents this year, we're facing a lot of vacancies with certain offices too. So it allows us to kind of resolve those things and learn the non-technical parts of being president, because as I said before, there's a lot like written on the Constitution of what you're supposed to do, but with that comes a whole host of like different responsibilities that only really previous presidents know. So it gives you that opportunity to kind of learn that before things get real and you have a national convention. So I guess that's why I'm a fan of the system too.
And I think that we've kind of communicated, Najati and I, about those responsibilities through a lot of calls and texts. So we've definitely opened up those lines of communication to make sure it's not just a post-state convention, hey, here's all the materials that I had. Good luck. Jump into the deep end. And I'm, at least, I mean, I don't know, I'm not aware of another officer transition where it's really been like that tight. And I'm very happy that we did that, because there was a lot of stuff that I learned as I went with my term, especially about meetings and meeting agendas. So I've, talked with Najati before the winter and now the spring board meeting, being like, hey, here's kind of what you want to talk about at this meeting to make sure that you have plans and brainstorms and things set in place, because Virginia only has 3 planning meetings per year, or 3 official planning meetings, I should say. You can have informal Zooms, but these are ones that everyone is invited to. And I mean, Najati is much better at efficiency than I am, perhaps, because my meetings ended up going like 4 or 5 hours sometimes, but that was because I really wanted to give time to talk about everything going on in person. But yeah, this year, obviously things have changed.
Yeah, we keep it short. We like to have time for lunch afterwards.
I definitely value the like community collaboration brainstorm aspect of meetings, but I think Najati's done a brilliant job of like getting a lot of that done with officers and co-chairs beforehand. So I think it's just different approaches, different types of leadership.
All right. Najati, are you planning, as a result of experiencing all of this, are you having your officers put together or plan for some kind of more formal transition in November of 21?
We're definitely thinking about it, because we know that, especially with a lot of my officers like being younger, I'm one of 3 juniors this year, which is obviously another big difference between my board and previous boards. So we're obviously planning for it, and I think that something that's key for these like long-term plans is also continuity. So it would be great for some, conversations between previous officers and new ones, just to get ideas about what was going on last year, what are existing plans, existing infrastructure for new ideas in the future. So yeah, we're definitely thinking about it, and hopefully we'll have something ready after nationals this year.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Let's see. I'm gonna be an old person now and say when I was NJCL editor, there was a computer that came with the job, a computer and a camera, and there's still a camera. It's still the same camera. It's an old camera now. But the iMac that the Torch US used to be made on has been recycled. But on that computer, there was Photoshop, there was InDesign, there were the programs you needed to make the torch, but then there was also a Word document that had advice and tips and tricks. It was like a README, how-to NJCL editor that every year the editor added to. So you could scroll back through, and it had only been going for a couple of years by the time I got it. I don't know if it continued after me, but that was cool to read that Word doc. It was, I guess, less personal than it sounds like the relationship y'all have, where you're calling each other and texting each other, because I was reading words of wisdom from people who were in college for years, people I had never met. But that was kind of cool. So is that something that you're thinking about? Some sort of, I know there are offices that, here's the parliamentarian gavel, or here's the president's gavel, and here's like a bookcase full of, there it is. Here's a binder full of old torches or something like that. But are y'all planning anything, like here's the USB drive with the README for how to be this officer in case I'm not available?
So I've been lucky that there has been a lot of materials for me. So a series of guides made by former presidents, but also like all the convention programs, like since the 80s, I think, and also some 70s maybe even, and some strange things too. So I have the gavel too, upside down kind of, but I have that.
You each get a gavel?
Well, actually, I got this as a Saturnalia gift from a friend in Florida, Maxine, and this is my gavel because I definitely didn't have an unhealthy attachment with gavels with the Virginia one. But yeah, we pass that on every year. So each president.
And I don't know, Savvy, if you know about this, but there's some like strange things in the box too. Like,
so that
yeah, I don't understand it. Yeah.
It was, from what I understand, like each president added their own thing. So it was like a deck of playing cards, and then like a keychain got added. There's a small plastic baby, if I'm
I was thinking about the small plastic baby when I was. I'll try to find it right now if I can show people. But yeah, there was a small plastic baby, and that's what like.
Oh, we should clarify. Like
it's a king cake baby, is what you're describing.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And it's in there. I don't know why.
It's from a Louisiana Mardi Gras king cake, is what you're describing.
Yeah, exactly.
Hang on, give me.
Louisiana has infiltrated our president.
Give me 30 seconds. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Okay. While he's gone, I guess we can tell him when he gets back. But Virginia has a system of like writing letters to successors, so everyone gets that. The president officer box didn't have them. I don't know why, but I gave him mine to start that tradition up again. When I was 2VP, I had letters from like years and years, people in college. And what I love about officers is that like all of them were like, please reach out to me. Here's my information, phone number, email. Yeah.
Mr. Ostroff, I just wanted to say it's such a Louisiana stereotype that you would have like a porcelain or like small plastic baby on hand.
Well, of course, it should have been on my desk, but it was in my kitchen. So here,
wow,
it's like this, right? But it's probably flesh colored. A lot of them are flesh colored, which is a little
ours
strange.
has like hair too. It's
yours has hair.
Elaborate.
Wow. That's weird. I don't think I'd want to get that in a king cake.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. But it was still fun to see when I found it.
I honestly was kind of confused and concerned. So I'm glad that it has like an actual origin. And that's like, although Louisiana infiltrating Virginia is a whole different thing that now I need to wrap my head around.
We're everywhere.
I mean, I love my LJCL friends. I don't know if any of them are watching this, but they're pretty cool.
Yep. LJCL is like VJCL. Well, no, wait. I was thinking, I like LJCL because there's only one state that starts with L. So LJCL has to be Louisiana JCL. And I know VJCL is Virginia JCL, but there could also be Vermont JCL, right?
Yeah.
So that's why some states do like ILJCL for Illinois.
Yeah, shout out ILJCL, shout out Riona.
Or TSJCL for Texas State JCL.
I'm so sorry if there are any Texas people watching. I don't understand this. Why is it not TX? Why is it TS?
The best part is it's TXSCL.
Really?
I believe so.
That disturbs me further. Great.
Yeah, Texas State JCL, so TSJCL. The things you learn, yeah, little trivias. There should be a trivia about, like a meta Kurtamen that's a trivia about JCL. Not about Latin, not about classics.
That sounds like a great idea.
Someone make that happen for National Convention. I would love to see people. If we can pick teams, can I pick Susan Shearer? Is that allowed?
Oh, she's got to be the moderator, I would assume.
That's probably more appropriate.
Let's see. Riona Duncan in the chat says, my board has asked me if we can fight IJCL for the name. So I guess
Indiana
and Illinois are going to fight.
Is this going to be a gladiator fight? Hi, Miss Shearer.
Hello, Miss Shearer.
I would love to see Miss Shearer moderate a JCL trivia round at National Convention.
Oh, yeah. So go ahead.
I was just going to say what Mr. Webb said in the chat about Louisiana JCL developing strong links, especially this year. I've gotten to know a lot of Louisiana people, and like they really are everywhere, but they're lovely. So
Yeah. I was going to ask what the state offices of Virginia are. This isn't technically a Virginia state spotlight, but we can talk a little bit more about Virginia before getting into the fun game that's going to take up the rest of the stream that I know everybody's here for. So y'all have president, a pair of VPs.
First VP, second VP. I'm not saying in order, but editor, secretary, historian.
What is this?
What? Yeah, I don't give an order. I just, we all kind of share jobs at this point.
Yeah. You listed editor after the vice presidents. I love it.
We really could start with editor, then president, then VPs.
Savvy gets it.
Yeah. But we have president, first VP, second vice president, secretary, parliamentarian, editor, and historian.
Oh, I forgot about Parley. Sorry, Alyssa, if you're watching this. But all my officers are in a Discord call watching this right now, so I'm trying not to offend them.
Oh, terrific.
But yeah, sorry, Alyssa, for the fun.
So it's editor and then historian, you said, Savvy?
Yeah, and I was going to say, I noticed, I think in some other states and at the national level, it's switched in recent years.
As long as I've known it, it's been historian editor for NJCL, but editor historian for NSCL.
I remember...
It makes no difference.
Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly, but I remember at my first national convention in Troy, it was editor historian in Gap.
Maybe they were just sitting in the wrong order. I don't know.
Yeah, that could very well be it. Alyssa.
I don't believe it's changed. Oh no, Alyssa.
Oh dear. Parley is the most important role of any board. Keep it together.
Yeah, let's be honest. But sorry, Alyssa.
Editor is like the spirit of the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love you, Alyssa. Historian.
Yeah, all my officers are in chat right now. I love it.
Echidna supremacy, really. Not hit. Oh my gosh. We need to talk about the wonderful April Fool's Day prank that these officers pulled.
Yeah, that was that's our crowning achievement so far for April Fool's, and this was our historian's idea, Chloe, if I recall correctly, and I'd introduced them to echidnas, which if anyone wants to look that up right now on stream, look up like baby echidna specifically. They look really like strange, but I love them. And for April Fools, we became the Echidna JCL, and we changed up our whole constitution to match that. I think I was the Echidna expert. That's my new title as president. But yeah, if you know, you know. That was pretty great. I was happy with that.
I'm pulling up a screenshot now because I thought it was really, really
please show them.
I know you guys didn't keep it. So, yeah. Here we go. April 1st. Well, the Echidna Junior Classical League Constitution. We, the members of the Echidna Junior Classical League, in order to establish... let's see how well I know the Constitution, being able to read it backwards and on a screen.
And
then you may know the VJCL Constitution, but you don't know the Echidna JCL Constitution, so good luck.
Yeah. And then I think the test, I don't even know how to pronounce that.
Maybe that's like the...
I don't know my...
Yeah, I don't know my...
That must be the genus or something.
Yeah, but I'm just proud of my officers and impressed by the things they want to do. This was a project I think they did like all in one night, so yeah, pretty impressive.
This is like a 3 a.m. caffeine-fueled extravaganza project.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
You said they changed the website?
I don't know if they changed the website. I don't know if they did that, but the Constitution was changed, the whole Instagram page.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it was pretty jarring, I bet, to anyone who saw it for the first time.
Who runs the Instagram page?
It's kind of all of us at this point. Like if anything, I think that's something that this change to a fully like virtual setting has done in a way. All of us kind of like share roles at this point, which I think actually has like benefited us and shown us where our different strengths lie. For example, our historian Chloe, she gets a lot of the editing work on like videos we make. So yeah, thank you, Chloe. And yeah, we just share obligations at this point, especially on the Instagram. If we have something that's relevant to us, we post. And yeah, that's what I really liked about this year.
Same thing happened for my board last year, and then the year before. We kind of all split Instagram duties.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think like for NJCL, it's not an officer duty. It's my duty to run all the social media. But there have been times when I've definitely needed the NJCL officers to help, because it's a lot, especially when I want to go through and like and comment and things like that on posts, because there are hundreds of JCL chapter accounts, which is great.
Yeah. Not to mention all the meme accounts. There's like dozens of JCL meme accounts.
Yeah, I don't follow those, but I do see them.
Yeah, I saw a meme from the 2021 National Convention meme page, which sprung up out of nowhere. It was like Virginia and Florida Kertamen fighting, and it was the Godzilla and King Kong meme, which, I think I'm saying fake because if it's real, that's for legal reasons. We can't talk about that. The fake rivalry between Florida and Virginia, or Virginia and Massachusetts, really Virginia and any other Kertamen state. It was really funny. And then the Doge, I think that's the dog with a baseball bat coming in, was Arizona Kertamen.
Oh.
And yeah, so I mean, Virginia and Florida, this is a call to action so that we can defeat the true enemy that is Arizona Kertamen.
Do y'all have any strong opinions about Godzilla versus King Kong?
Well, I actually do.
I think. Do people in the chat? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what people say in the chat. So I have a preference for King Kong. Like, I prefer King Kong as like a friend. I think he would be much nicer. In general, I prefer him. Mm-hmm. But I think it's pretty obvious that Godzilla would win it. I'm just being honest. He has like lasers, I think. So I don't know how it's fair. King Kong's just like a large like gorilla. So I don't really know where the matchup even came in the first place. So yeah, people are free to argue with me in the chat. I'll respond. But like, Godzilla has lasers, I think. So where's the competition? I don't really understand it.
I'm with you, Najati. Godzilla has atomic breath, and he can regenerate like Wolverine. And King Kong is a large gorilla. And actually, the original translation of Godzilla was like the word Gojira in Japanese, I believe, translates to gorilla whale. So Godzilla was both a whale and a gorilla originally.
I mean, I guess that makes sense for like the general shape.
Yeah, because he's from the water and he's huge. I don't know, but he has atomic breath and he can regenerate. Cute.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let us. I think the chat is generally agreeing. Let's transition to the and if anybody in the chat, of course, has any other questions about Virginia, the Virginia State Board, general functions of the Virginia JCL, things like that. Wait, do y'all have any regional officers like places like Florida do? It's those 7 that you listed? Okay.
We have a membership committee though, which performs.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. And as of recently, sorry.
Are those folks elected? The membership committee members?
They're selected by the board.
Cool. Okay, so there are some other opportunities for participation before running for state office.
Yeah, and actually, 3 of the officers this year came from the membership committee. So if anyone from Virginia is watching this, aside from my officers, I'd highly encourage you to join committees beforehand. We have a newly created Kertamen committee. And of course, we have a spirit and service committee too that I think would be great. Kind of like putting on training wheels before you like decide to run for office. I think that they're great first steps. So if anyone's interested.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's something that some of the larger chapters have, these committees, regional officers, things like that.
Yeah, in my term, one of my goals while I was campaigning was to create committees for this purpose. So after I was elected, I talked with my first and second I talked with all of my officers and asked if they wanted one, but I really wanted to zone in on the VPs because I think the VP job is like really huge, and especially with first VP challenging to take on as one person. Mm-hmm. So the membership committee and the spirit and service committee were established in 2019 to facilitate communication between officers and VJCLers and make sure their ideas and opinions were being heard, even if they couldn't make it to all the meetings. And like Najati, I'm really happy with the success that those two committees have had. Najati created a Kirtaman committee this year. So I won't steal his thunder if he wants to talk about that. But
yeah, and after I talk about that, someone in the chat was asking about the equity and membership committee. So I know you wanted to talk about, maybe you can go into equity after this, talking about the equity committee too, after I talk about the Kirtaman one. But yeah, so we recently started the Kirtaman,
I was going to say, I'm assuming the Kirtaman committee is making Godzilla costumes for all of the national
naturally
teams.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But we do a variety of things, and I'm really excited for what we're going to put out there this year. Currently, we're working on a new playlist of how-to Kirtaman videos, inspired by my first VP Paige, who told me recently that she didn't know like how to play Kirtaman until this year, our first Kirtaman event. So it just inspired me. Let's create a medium that's like accessible, like YouTube, and let's put on like resources there, because right now we're in a situation where it kind of benefits schools with like good Kirtaman infrastructure. So we just want to make things accessible. And yeah, Sevi, I don't know if you wanted to talk about the equity committee real quick.
It is definitely a topic that deserves its own time and space, but I can really briefly summarize. So this summer, I was talking with a few sponsors and the co-chairs kind of about, well, really, it was this one sponsor, Miss Gaucher. I love Miss Gaucher. She's amazing. She's not my teacher, but I've worked with her in JCL for a bit and talked about the creation of an equity committee. Obviously, this summer was really big in terms of equity pushes. I was like really happy to see all of that, and I'm very, very proud that Virginia kind of took that into our own hands and established it in our own organization. So the equity committee basically functions as a way to facilitate change. And there are like 4 different sections. I'm actually the leader of the scholarship subcommittee, which is working on providing scholarships to people who want to attend convention. There's a forum and discamus subcommittee, and education and amends. So working on like educating people about the history of the JCL and how we're going to move forward in the future. A lot of people might know about like the song and creed changes that are being worked on in the NJCL right now. I know NJCL just sent out a Google form about that.
Yeah, that should be in the description. There's a survey that we want people to take to let us know. It's not limited. It is a general JCL survey. I want to know people's opinions about a lot of things, and I think I might have forgotten to put it in the video description. So, Savvy, why don't you keep going, and I will...
yeah, no worries.
Just make you disappear. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, I think we're back.
Okay. Yeah, Karuna Sinha, who just texted in the chat, is one of the co-chairs. Ms. Gaucher and Karuna are the 2 chairs for this committee. And again, like a lot of stuff to talk about there. But I know other states, I think Illinois started one. I think there's perhaps 1 or 2 more that we're looking at starting one. And I think that's awesome. And I'm really happy to see that this idea is spreading, because I think it's really, really important work. Karuna, is there anything that I should add as a general thing that I've missed?
Okay, well, we wait for the response because there was a delay. The link to the JCL survey is now in the video description, so if everybody involved or everybody watching wants to let us know your thoughts about all things JCL, you can click on the link in the description of this video and take the JCL survey. It's also going to be in our Instagram bio for quite a while. Anytime I don't have any specific link in our Instagram bio, it's the link to the JCL survey. So we're trying to get responses to that by June 1st. And spoken Latin is a big thing in Virginia too, right? Is there a committee for that, or is that a separate movement? What is...
I think that's a savvy question, but yeah, there is a separate kind of movement. It's not tied directly to the JCL.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I think makes it really cool. So that there was a program, Latino La Cuenda, started by Alicia Lopez in 2017 or 2018, where essentially a group of Latin kids got together at like a takeout restaurant like Chula or Noodles and Company, and kind of just sat down and talked in Latin for the entire event. And spoken Latin is something that I think a lot of people don't experience in their Latin education through middle school or high school. Definitely something that I hadn't experienced until I went to one of these dinners. But it's been like a really successful program, and Alicia has since graduated. I think she's at Duke now. But every year, 2 people from 2 parts of Virginia, I think generally 1 senior, 1 junior, 1 in like kind of northern Virginia, which is where a lot of our chapters are, and 1 more central or southern Virginia. Like they co-team the program, set the dates. There's a website. And I know this year, since things have been virtual, Latino La Cuenta has opened up kind of to the country. And the thing I love about this program is how welcoming it is of all Latin abilities, because I am not a Latin prodigy by any means. And especially with spoken Latin, like you got to start somewhere. So yeah, you are very welcome to make mistakes. No one's going to be like, oh, you didn't decline that properly, or you didn't conjugate your verb right, or really you should use the pluperfect. Like that's not what's happening. Very inclusive, very welcoming. And like it's a space where you can make a lot of mistakes and learn at the same time, which I think is rare, but really awesome when it happens.
Well, we'd be happy to have them on a show. Whoever is leading that, spearheading that, I know Michelle has been involved in that. I know Jocelyn Robertson was involved in that. Other people will need to help me host that show because I am not good at that. But let's play Scattergories before it gets too late. I know that this is one of the things that everybody wanted to do. So let us, y'all are gonna, I've never played Scattergories. I hadn't heard of Scattergories until today when Savvy and Najati told me that's what they wanted to do. So take it away, and I'll be here to provide tech support and probably peanut gallery type comments.
Savvy, do you want to introduce it, and I'll be in the chat, like, typing my answers. I'll be like another competitor.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, wow. Okay. I will say, full disclosure, I am not a Scattergories expert, so this is the form I know, but maybe you know a different way of playing. Essentially, it's a listing thing. So your goal is to get as many things listed as possible. You have a category, animals, 4-letter words, square-shaped things, and then you get a letter. So A through Z, although not really like X, Y, Z, W, and Q, I think. Those are kind of off because they're very difficult to come up with a lot of things for. And so then you have to list as many things in that category with the letter restriction. So if it's animals starting with L, you could be like leopard, lion, ladybug, things like that. And then you try to list as many as you can in a certain time constraint. And I think maybe a minute does that sound good, Najati, Mr. Ristroff?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
And I know we are on JCLive, so we can do some classics themed prompts, but I think maybe to start we should just go with like a general category. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so for everyone in the chat, you're welcome to type your answers as you have them, but I think it might be more difficult to kind of figure out who got the most. Not that this is a competition, but, you know, we want to give you a shout out if you can name like 20 animals starting with the letter L. So I would recommend like typing them all into one message and then clicking send as soon as the minute ends and I let you know. And then you can go back and look at what everyone had to say.
Let's do 30 seconds to make it more intense.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
We love intensity.
Okay, well, don't blame me. Blame Mr. Ristroff if you can't get things in the time limit. And since I've been talking so much about animals, let's make that the category. And then I have a random letter generator up on another tab. Screen sharing is going to be a pain, so just trust me, I'm not lying to you. Random letter. Okay, so the topic is animals, and the letter... I'm not trying to blame Mr. Ristroff. I love Mr. Ristroff. The topic is animals, and the letter is C. So we're going to start
C
now.
is in Charlie?
Yes, C is in Charlie. Starting now. I'll hold it up to the screen in case people are curious.
Awesome. Oh, Ann Wilson is thrilled because she can say cats.
That would be very appropriate to Ann Wilson.
Okay, time.
All
right, everyone send in your stuff.
Okay, I think the intensity was too much for me. I didn't get many. Capybara. I love capybaras, for whoever put that. One of my favorite animals, right along with echidna.
I was like, oh my goodness, Anne got so many until I read further and realized
that half of them were cats.
Cat.
Yes. By the way, go follow at Caretommen Kitties. I think that's the account for all the cats of Caretommen that Ann Wilson may or may not run.
Terrific. Let's see, we have cats, capybaras, cougars, cobras, Canada geese, canines, caterpillars, cheetahs, chameleons, camels, cows, crickets, cod. Cod is good, actually, yeah. Crabs. Corvid.
This is impressive.
Corvid. That's a raven, right?
Ooh.
That's
I
from
only
Vlad.
know that because of StarCraft 2. Don't add me.
He's on our Caretommen team. So good job, Vlad. Flint Hill Caretommen.
Hold on. Kerberos, of course. Cerberus.
Speaking of Cerberus, maybe now that we got the hang of it, we can try a more JCL themed one.
Okay, and I think let us give them 60 seconds. 30 seconds was a little too intense.
Yeah, and especially with classical themes now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone. I was in this to win it first, but I don't know my chances anymore.
We can't let Arizona beat you, right?
Oh, true. I mean, I'll be honest. I think Virginia can do better than me as a whole. So.
Okay, so I have the letter. Because we only have a minute, I'm thinking, what are our thoughts on people as a whole from Latin? So
okay, but historical people or mythological people?
Both?
All of the above. Okay. Or, I mean, we can limit it if you guys think.
Oh, but it's going to be limited by the letter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So we could limit it by the letter and keep it to myth, or we could limit it by the
letter. Let's not limit it to myth or real. Myth or historical if it's limited by the letter.
The lines blur, you know.
Yeah.
All right. So, all people, authors, characters.
Deities.
No Percy Jackson characters. Even though I love him.
Okay, so this is category is entities. Well, let's see.
Yeah, how do you summarize this one?
People, characters, individuals.
I have my fingers on the keyboard. I'm really going to try to run this one.
Gods, etc. Well.
All right.
From myth and history, classically themed, and the letter is
T, as in tango. Ready, set, go. Oh my goodness, hi Julie. I love Percy Jackson. Fun fact, Percy Jackson is the reason I started taking Latin, because I was like, oh, Greek myth, Latin, same thing. Pro tip, it is not, but I'm really glad I did it anyway.
Okay, I have one.
Ooh. You can see the reflection. I'll stop talking. I'm probably distracting people.
Last names count, so Savannah Thompson counts for this category.
Classically themed? Sure, might be
President of VJCL.
All right, you got 10 seconds, guys.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's get those answers. This is fun. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I got destroyed in this round, I'll admit. But I did try.
Oh.
Karuna is a classic student, so...
Karuna, who posted first, didn't have Tiberius, which is the one that I was thinking of.
But got a lot of others.
Oh, I'm not going to read all of these because these are...
This is impressive.
Wow.
I think Karuna got this one.
I'm very...
Maybe Chloe, though? Maybe Chloe?
I appreciate the dedication to, like, differentiating between the Tarquinii, and...
That's what I tried to do. It
Telemachus,
got me
Tacitus,
an extra point.
Trajan, Tiberius,
Oh, I didn't do Trajan. That's a good one.
Tarquinius Superbus, Theseus. Did anybody say Tantalus? That's the other one I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah, Vlad said Tantalus.
Thanatos, that's good.
And so did Rihanna.
Wow.
I
Well
think-
done.
I'm very impressed. Hi, Kashi. We got Kashi and Karuna. And I'm trying to look at all the Virginia people here.
A lot of Virginia celebrities here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Michael Zhang, known from last JCLive with Flint Hill. True celebrity.
Welcome. Michael.
My officers, Vlad, a lot of people. It's great.
Okay. I got the next letter. So this time, I want to take a suggestion from the chat. Who has an idea of what category we should do?
While we wait for that to come in, one announcement for the show. JCLive. Season finale. Next week. Be there. Be here next week.
Any hints for what's going to happen?
Well, it's going to be big. All 7 NJCL officers. National Classics Week. Of course, that's not a coincidence. It's going to be big. That's all.
I'll be there. I'm
It's gonna be
excited.
great.
Also, we got to shout out Jocelyn, former NJCL president, another VJC.
Is she in the chat too?
Hey, Jocelyn.
Wow.
VJ celebrity?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Mythological monsters. We did talk about Godzilla for food since it's dinner time. Battles. Tyler, I feel like you might be a little biased asking for battles.
I want to move away from myth as much as possible, but I know there's a
Rhetorical
lot of
devices
picture in the chat.
or grammar things. That could be good.
Yeah, let's do like vocabulary. Let's just do like words for, I don't know, basic vocabulary, but
I like
Make
the
it
idea of
democratic.
cities, though. Maybe we could do cities, and then we could alternate Latin versus...
oh,
I don't-
cities?
Cities
Yeah.
is good.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good one. Let's do that.
If you don't put Savannah, I will be insulted. That's where I got my name, so I'm biased.
So
but,
they don't have to be classically themed cities.
oh, that's a
They
good question.
don't have to be ancient cities.
I suppose you could include all. But
Oh, okay.
speaking of Savannah, the letter for cities is S. So on your mark, get set, go.
All right, Vlad, I'm expecting you to win this one. All right, I'll go intense mode.
Savvy, was it actually S or did you?
Actually, yes, I
Okay.
picked the letter before and momentarily forgot that that was like the restriction. Made the joke and then realized, oh. Also, Anne says, "Savvy, please. I just want the names of cats." So, Anne, I don't know if you're suggesting all cats in existence. I'd be very impressed if you could get all the names there.
I mean, if you name your cat Seattle, then it would be.
All right, that's time.
Okay. Let's see what people came up with.
Jeez, Karuna, What did you have for breakfast this morning? And Chloe.
Wow. Surely did somebody put Sparta?
I was so confident before this that I was going to win. I see Chloe. Sterling, Virginia. Very good.
Shreveport.
I appreciate the San Diegos in the chat.
Yeah, you know.
Did nobody put
Only
Sparta?
could be in person, but you know, even better. Oh, I see the Slavic influence, Vlad. Oh, Chloe, was this like a combined effort of all the officers? See that? All right. We can count all of Chloe's answers as the whole board now.
The VJCL board will just combine.
Yeah. They're all just one being.
Hey,
Sardis.
I can't. Okay, can someone help me count for Karuna and Chloe?
I think, okay, I'll count for Chloe, you count for Karuna.
While people are counting, viewers, if y'all want to be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We will be back next week for the season finale with all 7 NJCL officers for National Classics Week. It's going to be big. You don't want to miss
13 for Chloe.
I got 14 for Karuna.
So wow. If only one more. Chloe, we could have won this. But that's fine.
Alyssa's just yelling stuff into my ear.
Okay, let's do one more, and then that'll be it, I think.
I'm thinking Latin words. Just any Latin word.
Any Latin word? Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a good letter then.
Yeah.
It could be bad, or you know, maybe this is finally my round.
Okay, I think it picked a good letter.
Okay, so category is Latin word, and letter is what?
Letter is M, as in magic.
M.
All right, go. I'm just gonna give time updates because my arm is fatigued.
Mm-hmm. This is great. This is some of the best chat interactivity we've had. So, Najati, every time you come on, the chat just blows up. They were very, very engaged.
And I have to come on again. I like being a reoccurring character.
Part of the Najati fan club.
Yeah, it's like a sitcom. I'd love to be a guest on it.
Well, there are going to
10
be
seconds left for everyone in the chat.
10 seconds. Ooh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Post. Oh my goodness, are you at 10% battery power?
16.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Mr. Webb is a super fan.
He is. Mr. Webb
He should get a trophy at the end.
are super fans. Oh boy. Mortus, morire, mora, malum, moeo,
Oh, Karuna wins. I'm sorry. Overall winner.
Wow.
Karuna, being a classic student, is really to her advantage. I mean, she's also brilliant, so there's that, but...
And you're sure there was no collusion, Savvy? Like, you didn't volunteer to run this game just because you wanted Karuna to win, right?
I did not provide any answers. Besides, if I did, it would probably be to Anne, because Anne has been very, very nice to me in the chat today. I love you, Anne.
Well, look, Grumio tuned in.
Oh, hey, Grumio.
It's been a while since Grumio's watched the show. Welcome back.
Oh, I want to know in the chat, once people are done sending in their answers, are y'all Cambridge kids or Eke Romani kids? Or another textbook entirely that I'm forgetting?
We're just like Griffiths, I think, for us.
Latin for the New Millennium, Wheelox.
Wheelox, nice.
We tried Cambridge for a little bit, I think.
Oh, Cambridge is the best. Cambridge is the way to go.
I'm partial.
To?
Cambridge.
Oh, good.
That's what my middle school Latin teacher used. And I used for the first 2 years of high school, so.
We're going to have, I think, another possible show idea would be what Latin curriculum is the best and why is it Cambridge would be the show title, and we'd bring on a bunch of teachers and students and they could fight about it.
And all of those teachers and students would definitely be split among the two textbooks. It would not be like a 90-10.
Cambridge versus Ecke, you mean?
Yeah, it wouldn't. It would be completely fair.
I'd be happy to be a third party or bring in someone from Flint Hill. We have some good teachers to advocate for something else.
What do y'all use?
Well, we had like a weird journey because I started Latin in like 6th grade, like a while ago. But as I was like aging up, we were switching from one book to another, and I don't know what the previous one was, but we tried Cambridge for a little bit, but by the end I was just an AP, so it's just you read it, like you don't have a textbook to go along with it necessarily, but
the OG textbook is the Aeneid.
Yeah,
for all my Aeneid fans in the chat. Learning Latin through Virgil actually sounds terrible. Like you'd grow up learning like the syncopated forms.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise it. Even now, it's tough. So,
we'd also have another show idea is which translation of the Aeneid is the best and why is it the Stanley Lombardo version? And I'll participate in that one.
Do you have an opinion about the best translation of the Odyssey?
No, I don't.
I know it was recently retranslated. I know Karina will know this. I think her name is Emily something.
I saw that a new translation came out recently and that it was making the headlines, but...
Emily Wilson, I think. I definitely didn't look that up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we are coming up on an hour and we do have officer reports, so I'm going to thank y'all so much, Savvy and Najati, for coming on. It's been a great stream.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks very much to the chat for being so engaged in the Scattergories at the end. We'll see you all here next week for the season finale of JCLive, coinciding, of course, with National Classics Week. So it'll be the National Classics Week stream. It'll be the season finale. It'll be a big shebang. So see you there. And Najati and Savannah, if y'all want to mute yourselves and just hang out here, once the officers give their reports and we end the stream, I'll come back and thank you properly and everything.
Yeah, well, hey to everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay, gracias.
All right, let us bring on Annie Class, NJCL parliamentarian. One sec, Annie. I know you're... Oh, goodness. Annie's doing everything right. I can't find... There it is. Is that the one? Yes. Terrific.
Yeah, there I am.
Hi, Annie. How's it going?
Hi, Mr. Rob. I'm doing well. How are you?
Welcome back to JCLive. We are a weekly show for JCLers.
After so many weeks of being not here, I'm here. I made it.
So for those of you who don't remember, Annie Class is the NJCL parliamentarian.
I just have not been on the show for a while, so...
It's all good. And now 3 versions of Nolan are trying to join too. So, hi Nolan, how's it going? Oh, they resolved themselves. Terrific.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Sorry, I'm the tech coordinator. I should not be having this issue. But yes, I can't hear you.
Wonderful. Welcome. What have y'all got for us for officer reports? Annie, let's start with you because I know you've got several things to say.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously as NJCL Parley, it's my job to run the national election process. So I haven't been on here in a while, which is probably not a good thing because some serious stuff has happened behind the scenes. But I've been trying to update everyone on social media. So I'm hoping that has been somewhat effective. But I'd like to say that a couple things are out. So you've got the pre-filing forms. Pre-filing is open. So please, if you know that you are running for an office this summer, pre-file as soon as possible so I know how many candidates we have, because once I know that, I can start really organizing those virtual events that we're doing this year, which we know we're doing a lot more virtual events than in the past. virtual election. So it's really helpful for me to know how many people I need, how many adults I need for the rooms, things like that. So once you've got the go ahead from your state chairs or your state or however your state decides, please send me that form. Those forms and the campaign corner, which is the information that is currently available for national campaigning and national elections, all that information is under the About Us section. It is for candidates for NJCL office of the NJCL website, and it was updated just today with all that information. So the new campaign corner, the fileable form if you're running for NJCL president, the form that you have to do in addition to your pre-filing form is also on there. So please fill those out if you are ready.
You said that was under...
It should be under, it's About Us and then candidates for NJCL office.
All right, I'm going to put that link in the chat.
Yeah, that would be really helpful. Okay, so that's that. The second thing I wanted to update everyone on is, I'm going to put this on social media, but this is also just happening today. So the Constitution contest, which several people have kind of reached out to me about over the past year, is finally up. The guidelines are up. So if your club has been working on that throughout the year, or you are doing amendments at the end of the year, April, June, May, then you can totally submit to that. All the guidelines are, again, under those non-convention contests that you normally do for local officers. I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, just from a more personal level, if you're wondering about the NJCL Constitution, we have basically finished amendments on that. Nolan and Mr. Rostrom can say that was a hefty process. And we're just going to be looking over those, basically, not all of them, but I think there are like a couple different things that we're looking over for spring planning for those. But yeah, that's all the updates I have.
No, did you mention the campaign corner? Did I miss that?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Good. Okay, that must have been when I was looking at the thing. How was Florida JCL convention this past weekend?
It was really, really good. I played my last rounds of State Kurtaman ever, which is kind of bittersweet, but just another great election, another great year. I'm hoping next year that it's going to be in person, but the FJCL board did a fantastic job coordinating that. Kudos to those officers who really stepped up to get as much in-person events virtual as they could.
Terrific. Thanks, Annie. Nolan, you're up.
Hello. So for the past few weeks, my main responsibility has been working on the website contest. All of the submissions are now finalized. If you submitted after March 31st, March 31st, your website was not counted. But all of those are in and they're being judged right now. I've already tabulated all of our currency points, so thank you for everyone who submitted every month and got those extra points. And then I'm also currently grading the technical execution points. And also, I've been taking minutes at the past few meetings. Can't say that they were a lot of fun, especially to take at the constitutional amendments meeting. Thank you, Annie. But yeah, I've been taking those the past few weeks. And that's mostly what I've been doing.
It was a very well-run meeting. It was just long. That's all we're saying.
Oh yeah, it was nice. It was in order at least. You would jump around. It's just a lot.
Awesome.
I signed up for that though. Can't complain too much.
And we'll see both of y'all back next week for the National Classics Week show, which I'll be emailing the officers about pretty soon. Well, thank you both so much. That is our show. I know we went a little bit over, but it was a good time. Everybody was having fun. We'll see you next week for the season finale. I've said it several times now. That's going to be a real blast for National Classics Week, so see you there. Thank you very much for tuning in. Cheers.